My name is Caroline Lucas. I'm the Green Party Member of Parliament representing Brighton Pavilion since 2010. After Edward Snowden blew the whistle on illegal mass surveillance practices in 2013, it was clear that everyone's private communications were at risk of unwarranted state spying. That includes sensitive private communications between MPs and the public, who we have a duty to represent. And I was concerned that if members of the public can't speak to us without those communications being scooped up in the government's mass spying, then not only is our privacy and freedom of expression at risk, but democracy can't flourish. Blanket surveillance of politicians is nothing short of a stain on parliamentary democracy. So with my Green Party colleague, Baroness Jenny Jones, we began a legal challenge against the UK security services to protect the privacy of communications between parliamentarians and the public. The Wilson Doctrine is an important principle, decades old, and it's basically called that because in 1966, the then Prime Minister Harold Wilson assured Parliament that parliamentarians' phones and mail must not be intercepted by the authorities except in exceptional circumstances with prior authorisation from the Home Secretary. Now, our case was heard in the Investigatory Powers Tribunal, and whilst the tribunal acknowledged that the Wilson Doctrine would apply to targeted interception of parliamentarians' communication, it said that that didn't apply to mass spying. Now, that was not the outcome we hoped for. The judgment was frankly a body blow for parliamentary democracy. Parliamentarians must be a trusted source for whistleblowers, from campaigners whose groups have been infiltrated by the police to those exposing corruption in government departments. And constituents have a right to know that their communications with me aren't subject to blanket surveillance. It strikes at the heart of our democracy. Our job is to hold the executive to account, and how effectively we can do that is undermined if our communications are being monitored by the state. However, our legal challenge illuminated the problem of state spying on politicians, and we used the momentum to campaign for better protections in the new surveillance law, the Investigatory Powers Act. Under that Act, the Prime Minister must personally approve a targeted warrant for an MP. It doesn't address our concerns about bulk spying, though, and so we must continue to defend privacy and democracy, particularly as new technologies advance. But MPs wouldn't have known that our constituents' private communications were being affected by mass surveillance without Edward Snowden's whistleblowing. His actions have helped to inform our democracy and enabled me to bring this important legal challenge.